him to rest.
All right.
I think I should tell you about my favourite goal again.
Yeah, tell us about your favourite goal again, John.
It's all right.
That one against Manchester Grammar School, John.
Manchester Grammar School, yeah.
Yeah, I remember
I were
it.
actually playing lacrosse at the time.
I mean, talking about own goals, I remember playing in one match, and I went to hit this ball out to knock it out for a corner to avert the danger, and I was just outside our own penalty area, and I found the top corner, something, you know, if it had been a forward, I'd have been proud of it.
Yeah, my favourite goal was against Leeds Schoolboys at Ellen Road.
Yeah, that would have been good.
I hit it from outside area, it was raining, and he chipped back at net and all water come off back at net. Fantastic.
Oh. Well, he would have been a photographer there, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Hey, they weren't one at Bramall Lane when I shot and hit crossbar. And the lad who headed it back, his uncle was a reporter, and he got his picture in paper. Lovely.
Saying that, I remember scoring one at the Aurora Sports Ground.
Oh, yeah.
And again, I was outside the area and I smacked this ball, and it, being goalkeeper, it all ends up, hit the back of the net, carried on through the net, and hit the netting at the back of it.
It sounds like Wally Brand, Ball of Fire.
It looked like it until we went to look at the netting, and the goal nets were all rotten.
Does anybody remember reading Wally Brand, Ball of Fire?
No.
No, in Rover and Adventure.
No.
Oh, brilliant, brilliant. He's the one that taught me that if you hit the crossbar, it's a bad shot. Any goal, any shot that don't go in between post and under bars, a bad shot. And he had this kid, he'd got a barrel on penalty spot, and he had this kid at halfway line, and he told him to get the ball in that barrel. So he tried about 30 shots and failed. So Wally Brand just picked the ball up and walked to the barrel and put it in. You got to use that, mate. Use that. There's no wonder I've got mental health issues.
I think Jonathan's trying to get himself back on. Hello, Irene.
Good night, Irene. Good night. Goodbye, Irene. Goodbye.
She can't hear us, I don't think. Hello, Irene.
Oh,
Anyway. Hello, hello, Irene. Don't give her away. Hello, Jonathan. Can you hear me? No. Anyway, we'll let Lol finish his news of the week.
Okay then. 1 or 2 managerial changes. Now Scott Parker, he's taken over as head coach at Bournemouth on a 3-year contract after leaving Fulham. The former England midfielder took over at Fulham in February 2019, but could not stop them being relegated from the Premier League that season. He guided them to promotion back to the top flight via the playoffs the following season, only for them to suffer relegation yet again back to the Championship. Now West Brom, they've appointed Barnsley boss Valérien Ismaël as their new head coach on a 4-year contract. The 45-year-old replaces Sam Allardyce, who left the Hawthorns following Albion's relegation from the Premier League. The former Crystal Palace defender only took over at Barnsley last October, with the club 21st in the Championship, and won 25 of his 44 games in charge to finish 5th, before losing to Swansea City in the playoffs. Their ex-Liverpool manager, Rafa Benitez, could possibly be named this week as the new Everton boss, but police are investigating reports that a threatening banner was left near his home, as his arrival would be contentious with many Everton fans who are opposed to the 61-year-old Spaniard. after he once described them as a small club in 2007. He would be the first manager to lead both neighbouring clubs since the 1890s. And a picture of the banner was posted online saying, "We know where you live, don't sign." I think it's
Written by his
disgusting.
wife.
Strangely enough, his wife still lives in the Liverpool area, I believe.
They all do. Formby.
He does.
Yeah,
Still lives there, doesn't he?
Got a house there, yeah.
Brendan Rodgers.
Been difficult to
Jurgen
manage a
Klopp.
team in China from there.
Is that where all the statues are on the beach at Formby?
No, that's
Yeah.
Crosby.
Crosby.
Bit
Crosby.
further,
Yeah,
bit
yeah.
further closer to
Oh.
Bristol.
Well, I always got them mixed up, George Formby and Bing Crosby.
My mum lived in the ground floor flat of a lovely old building that was owned by Anne Robinson,
Oh yeah,
rather Weakest Link fame.
soon to be Countdown.
Countdown,
Yeah,
that's
that's
from
right.
yesterday. Countdown.
Yesterday was it?
And it
Yep.
looks onto a promenade, and you can walk all the way from Southport into Liverpool along that promenade. And I think somewhere it links with the Trans-Pennine Way as well. You know, it's quite a walker's paradise.
I'm just going to give Jonathan a ring, see if I can
Yeah.
get him.
Right.
You want to continue?
I'll just finish off with a little bit of Euro
Yeah.
football. Now, the Czech Republic, they pulled off the first shock of the tournament as they beat the Netherlands 2-0 to book their place in the last 8. After a goalless first half, the Netherlands found themselves down to 10 men early in the second half after VAR showed one of their defenders handling the ball. The Czechs then got on top and scored twice to earn a quarter-final tie against Denmark, who had thrashed Wales 4-0 on the previous day. Now, yesterday, as you all know, there were two fabulous games, which saw Spain beat Croatia 5-3 after extra time, and Switzerland beat France on penalties after the match ended 3-3 after 90 minutes, with no further goals in the 30 minutes of extra time. Okay, didn't want those games to end, really, did you?
No.
That's the news.
Oh.
Hey,
Thank you, Lol.
okay. Thank you all.
On the wall.
Again. So, right. So, as promised, John has got some quizzes for us.
I think somebody else should do it.
I agree. I agree. Yeah. I did this one before in about 2018. Sport in film and TV.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the 2013 film Rush. The 2013 film Rush was about the rivalry in 1970 between which Formula One drivers?
James Hunt
Yes.
James Hunt.
Yes.
and
Nicky Lauda.
Is it
Nicky
Senna?
Lauda. Nicky Lauda. Quite right. Creed in 2015 was about the son of Apollo Creed, who featured as Who's opponent 31 years ago.
Rocky.
Rocky.
Full name?
Bill Bale.
Oh,
Yeah.
Rocky Balboa.
Yeah, that'll
Balboa,
do.
yeah.
Close enough. Spanish, not your number one subject. There you are. Ralph Macchio waxed on and off in which 1984 film?
Karate
Right,
Kid.
kid.
Yeah, see, they're dead easy, these. These questions are designed to make old men feel good. Yeah.
You're a
Cuba
failure.
Gooding Jr.'s catchphrase.
Succeeding,
You
John.
what? Cuba
You
Gooding Jr.'s
succeeded.
catchphrase to Tom Cruise in this 1996 film was, "Show me the money." Which film and which sport?
The Colour of Money.
No.
No.
Jerry
It's where
Maguire.
Tom Cruise plays the sports
What do you
agent.
say, Keith? Yeah.
Jerry Maguire.
Jerry Maguire. And what sport did Cuba Gooding play?
Baseball.
Close.
Basketball.
Basketball.
No, further away.
Ice hockey.
No.
Rounders.
What's the
Rounded.
number one American sport?
What's
Rounded.
what?
American football.
American football. Yeah. So baseball weren't close at all. I just had you on there.
We're in America.
Yeah. The 2004 film $1 Million Baby, directed by Clint Eastwood and starring Hilary Swank, was about which sport?
Boxing.
Boxing.
What sort of
Boxing.
boxing?
Women's boxing.
Women's boxing. With which sport do we associate the Matt Damon film Invictus?
Rugby.
Rugby.
Rugby. Rugby union.
Rugby
Yeah,
Union,
let's go.
yeah. And which player did Matt Damon portray in the film?
Pina.
Pienaar.
No need
Francois
for that.
Pienaar.
Yeah.
Francois Pienaar, yeah. Jack O'Connell, who some of us saw in the nap at the Crucible, played Louis Zamperini in Unbroken in 2014. Which sport was he known for?
Athletics.
Yeah, what specifically?
He was an Olympic athlete who got put in the Japanese prisoner of war camp.
He was, yeah, he was in the 1936 Olympics
Yeah.
where he finished 8th in the 5K.
It's a great film, great book.
It is really good. A League of Their Own. You see, we should have a session maybe on favourite sports books
Yeah.
sometime. A League of Their Own with Tom Hanks and Gina Davis was about which sport?
Women's baseball.
Well done. Kingpin, a 1996 film, starred Woody Harrelson. What sport was it about?
10
Ten-pin bowling.
10-pin bowling. Point Break, featuring Ray Winston in 2015, featured which unusual sports?
Snooker.
They've got a particular term for the type of sports. Out of the ordinary.
Extreme.
Extreme sports, yeah. The Rack Pack in 2016 was about the rivalry between which two snooker players?
Davis and Higgins. Davis
Very
and
good.
Hendry.
Yeah, no, Peter's got it right. Davis and Higgins. Who
Higgins.
starred in the films Alley about boxing and Concussion about American football?
Will Smith.
Smith.
Yeah. The film Cinderella Man was about which boxer?
Bit. No. James J. Braddock.
James J.
Yeah.
Braddock. Good film,
Yeah.
don't you think?
Brilliant film.
Yeah. In 2003, Tobey Maguire starred as a jockey in the eponymous film about which legendary horse?
Seabiscuit.
Yeah, well done.
John,
Half man, half
just-
sea biscuit.
can I
yeah.
just stop you a second and
You can.
see if Jonathan can. Jonathan, can you hear? If you can hear us, can you nod? Right.
You're muted.
He might have an affliction. Mickey Rourke was which type of fighter in his 2008 film?
Wrestler.
Yeah. Surprisingly good. I mean, Chris recommended that several times, and I'd avoided it for years. But when I watched it, it was a really good film. Good
Yeah.
acting as well.
John, let me just try again to Jonathan. Irene, can you hear me? Yes, not Irene. I've forgotten her name.
Irene, isn't it?
Irene. Irene, can you hear me? The bottom, you should find a mute button
Looks like they conducted an autopsy.
somewhere at the bottom of the screen.
Are you talking to me, Keith?
Sorry, no, I'm talking to Jonathan's. Jonathan, can you hear me? Jonathan,
Jonathan, can you hear us?
can you hear me?
Is there anybody
Nod your
there?
head.
Is there anybody
Jonathan,
Yeah.
at the
knock
bottom
three
of the screen,
times, if there is.
you should, if you move your cursor or touch the screen, you should see like a microphone, and you need to click on that to unmute yourself.
Move your curtains. Oh, the cursor. Oh, this is jolly.
Damn. Last.
Hey, done it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Jonathan?
Welcome to our world.
Yeah.
Speak, Jonathan.
Speak.
No.
No, she's.
No. All right. Well, we'll carry on. He probably can't hear us now.
There's a standard question that you've heard so many times, but I'll ask it anyway. How many ex-professional footballers can you name from Escape to Victory?
Ooh.
Pelé. Bobby
Yeah.
Moore.
Ellie.
Bobby Moore, yeah.
Bobby
Ardila.
Moore.
Yeah.
Mike
Ozzy
Summerby.
Mike Summerby,
Dealers.
Ozzy Ardiles. Are you able to read this list here? Because they're in exact order. I've got them down.
Sylvester
Ipswich guard.
Stallone, he was in goal. Played for Everton.
Ex-professional footballer.
Played
Kevin,
for
Kevin
Everton.
Beattie.
I've
Was
lost
it-
him. I've not got him on this list.
Is it
Oh,
John
yes.
Walk?
John
Oh,
Walk.
John Walk.
Is
Yeah,
it Laurie
Jonathan
Civil as
Walk.
well? One or two Ipswich players, weren't there?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Beckenbauer, innit?
No.
No, the
10 more seconds.
footballers were on the English side, weren't they?
Ardila.
Or the Allies side.
Oh, Kazi Dana. This Polish
Kazi
player.
Dana, brilliant. Well done, Paul. Kazimierz Dana. Right. Paul Van Himst,
Oh, yeah.
Alvar Torrensen, Co Prans, Russell Osman,
Ah,
Soren
Russell.
Lindstedt. Sounds like something you rub on a graze, that, doesn't it?
Laurie
Kevin
Civil.
O'Callaghan
that
and
is.
Laurie Civil. Who could forget Laurie Civil?
I said him.
I'm sorry, mate. Sorry. I go deaf when you speak.
I don't blame you.
Sorry about that.
Goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Right, onwards and upwards. Who started?
He's either
in
got
Slapshot?
injured so that Stallone could play.
You're probably right. Yes, I think you're right.
Yes, I think so.
You're right. You're right. Who starred in Slapshot about ice hockey?
Paul Newman.
Paul Newman. And who starred in The Natural?
Oh.
And
Robert
what sport was it about?
Redford.
You did
Robert
in the
Redford.
pantomime the other Christmas.
Yeah. Robert
Yeah,
Redford, and
baseball
it's
player.
downhill skiing, isn't it?
No, it's
No.
baseball.
Oh,
Baseball.
Baseball.
Baseball. Downhill races about downhill skiing. Yeah. I
Yeah.
think that's a question later on. That, Keira Knightley and Parminder Nagra starred in which 2002 film?
Bendy like Beckham.
Yes, Bend It Like Beckham.
Wow.
Frodo Baggins, alias Elijah Wood, starred in which 2005 film about football hooliganism?
Ooh. The
Is it the Green Street or something
Yeah, well
like
done.
that?
Well done, mate. Green Street Hooligans. Taron Egerton played which British heroic failure in 2016?
Eddie the Eagle?
Yes, Eddie the Eagle.
Oh, yeah.
In 1942's Pride of the Yankees, which baseball player did Gary Cooper play? Now, have you been listening to Chris last few weeks?
Yeah.
Who was it?
Lou Gehrig.
Lou Gehrig, yeah.
Lou, yes.
Lou Gehrig Day recently, wasn't it?
Mm.
In 1958, at the Rex Cinema, when I were first in my primes, I saw John Gregson play an Irish bin man in Rooney. What sport did he play in the film?
Hurling.
Hurling, yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like being sick, doesn't it?
John Gregson went to my school.
Did he?
Yeah, Liverpool College.
Which
Yeah.
school was that?
Borstal.
Liverpool College. Derek Guyler, Noel Shavas, John Gregson, Rex Harrison, me. You know,
Blimey.
Which school was that, Ian?
Liverpool College near
Yeah,
Sutton
yeah.
Park, Mossley Hill.
Yeah.
Paul Bettany represented GB in which national sporting event in the 2004 film? What was the sporting event?
Was it in the Olympics?
No,
Grand National.
no. It's currently relevant.
Tennis.
Yeah, Wimbledon.
Wimbledon, yeah.
Dustin Hoffman had to be good at what to escape from Laurence Olivier in 1976?
Running.
In
Marathon man.
particular,
Running, the marathon man,
Long distance running.
yeah.
the
I thought
marathon.
that was a good book and a good film.
Mm.
And
Yes.
Stars of Fear of Dentists. Yeah.
Device angle.
Yeah. The 1996 cartoon film Space Jam starred which basketball player?
Michael Jordan.
Well done. Doctor Who star Matt Smith starred in Bert and Dickie about Bert Bushnell and Dickie Burnell. What sporting event did they participate in?
No.
No.
All right then. Which Olympics was it?
Missed the question.
Munich.
Missed the question, so I don't know.
So Matt Smith starred in Bert and Dickie about Bert Bushnell and Dickie Burnell.
The
What sporting event did they participate
1948 Olympics.
1948 Olympics, and what
The
sport was it?
1948 Olympics.
Yeah,
It was rowing.
yeah, double skulls to who starred in the 1968 film The Swimmer?
Lancaster.
Burt Lancaster. What? Timothy Spall was a spin bowler in which TV series?
Outside Edge. Outside Edge. Brilliant that was.
Loved it.
Yeah. Yeah. I appeared in that on stage. Yeah, I should have been outside building, really. Craig Cash starred in what was the worst sitcom, in my opinion, for years about football or out. Can you remember it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
first team.
No, it called Rovers, about Redbridge Rovers. It was terrible. It's got some decent comedy actors in it, but it was awful. I don't know if anybody can remember seeing it.
No, can't
Remember about it, yeah.
What year was that, John?
I don't know, certainly in the last 5 years.
All right.
And I think they might have even been, no, they couldn't have been a second series. No, they couldn't have been.
I remember
In which
missing it.
TV series could contestants take routes 1 to 4?
Oh,
Rather take a
Blockbuster.
route 1 question, a route 4
Oh,
question.
shoot. Goal.
what do you call it?
I remember being on a training course in Leeds, and we sat
Yeah.
down in, I stayed at this little hotel. We sat down with all people from course to watch this program, and Sam Ellis featured on it for Wednesday.
what do you call
He's
it?
gonna
Yeah.
be good. He's got 10 O levels. He's going to be good. He got every one wrong.
Yeah.
So you can't remember it.
Can remember it. I can't remember the name.
Quiz Ball.
Remember the program?
Yeah, Quiz Ball.
Quiz ball.
Which football series? There were 85 episodes in 1965 and 66. Starred George Layton from Doctor at Large. What position did he play? What was the program? And what position did he play? It's a football
Was it
program.
Centre
City?
forward.
Who said City?
I did.
Very close.
United.
United.
United. It was
United.
called United. And George Layton played what position?
Goalkeeper.
No.
Left back.
Probably your position, Paul.
Oh, left winger.
Oh, right winger. Sorry, mate.
All right.
He played right wing. The phrase "it's a funny old game" featured in which TV show?
On the ball.
Saint Greavesy.
Greavesy,
Saint and
Saint-
Greavesy. Saint and Greavesy.
Yeah.
In which year was the first match of the day presented?
65.
Close.
63.
64.
Close. 64, right in the middle. Yeah.
Was it
Um,
Arsenal?
No, I think we're Arsenal and Liverpool or something like that. Who was the first presenter?
Frank Boff, wasn't it?
No,
Kenneth
David
1964 to 67.
Kenneth Wolstenholme.
Kenneth Wolstenholme.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember him when he did his last cup final at Wembley, and they asked him what his memories were? You've attended about 40 cup finals. What your memory? He couldn't remember one. Sad, really. I mean, at the time, I thought it was ridiculous. Looking back, it was probably early stage Alzheimer's, which is sad. Who were the next four presenters? Takes us up to the present day after Kenneth Wolstenholme.
David Coleman.
Jimmy Hill.
David Coleman, 67 to 73.
Des Lynam.
Jimmy Hill, 73 to
Barry
88.
Davis.
Des Lynam, did you say?
Yes,
Ian?
we can
Yeah.
hear you, Jonathan.
Yes, thank you, marvellous. I'm so
Hey.
sorry. I hope I haven't interrupted.
The
There's some
resurrection.
problem with the connection.
Des Lynam, 88 to 99, followed by
Gary Lineker.
Gary Lineker. And who's going to
Gary.
be the next, you reckon?
Oh, it'll be a woman.
Alex Scott.
It'll be a woman from an ethnic
Yeah.
minority.
Yeah.
Or
Alex
Logan.
Yeah.
Gabby Logan.
Yeah.
Alex, what? Alex,
Well,
what's
better
it? who's
still, a
doing-
woman.
She's going to do Football Focus, isn't she?
Yeah.
Alex
Who was the last
Scott.
woman? Who was the last woman to present it? Match of the day.
Gabby Logan.
Gabby Logan.
Gabby Logan. Yeah. Good morning, Tokyo was the theme tune to which global televised event?
Olympics.
Can you sing that again, please, John?
Yeah.
Olympics.
Good morning, Tokyo.
Can you hear me?
Happy to be
Olympics.
seeing you.
64 Olympics.
Hello?
64 Olympics.
Which
Can
song
anybody hear me?
featured-
Tokyo.
Yes.
Yeah, we're just
You
ignoring you, Ian.
You're ignoring
Which song
Jonathan.
featured in the 1992 Olympic Games TV coverage?
Barcelona.
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 I wish I'd not said that.
It was just
Would have been
like
quite good
listening
if
to
he'd got
that.
the. Would have been quite good if he'd got the tune right, wouldn't it?
Just like listening to that fat bloke.
You've got a rough idea of the words now, John. Can you
No,
can
you're
you
all
try
right.
the
You're
tune?
all right.
He was a good singer till they invented tunes.
Yeah. Win one for the Gipper. Are you listening? Win one for the Gipper is a quote from the 1940 film Knut Rockne, All American. Which future politician played football player George Gipp?
Ronald
Reagan.
Reagan.
Ronald Reagan. There he
Ronald
was,
Reagan.
lying on his sick bed, passing away, and he said, "Win one for the Gipper." His nickname, George Gipp.
You'd make a
Right.
good president, John.
Thank you. Which college team did he play for in this film? Famous American college team he played
Yale.
for in this film.
Yale.
No,
Harvard.
no,
Princeton.
no,
UCL.
no,
Columbia.
no.
Sheffield. Hallam.
It's a famous footballing college team.
Notre
Penn
Dame.
State.
Notre Dame. Notre Dame, that's it.
Well done.
And finally, who was the first host of Sports View and Sports Personality of the Year in 1954 and Grandstand in 1958?
Peter Dimmock.
Peter Dimmock.
Yeah.
Peter Dimmock.
Yeah.
So there you are, that's your lot.
Thanks, John.
Whoa,
There you go.
right. So we've got acres of time left to talk about. What about
I could sing you the Barcelona in its entirety.
Oh,
no? It's
Pass.
we haven't got that much time, John.
what about England's chances tonight then? And
Good.
Do we
50-50.
want them just to win, or do we want them to play well and win?
win.
Play well and win.
Just to win.
Do we want our teams that we like Wednesday, United, Liverpool, whoever?
A goal
England,
off
do we
some,
want
a
them
goal
to
off
play
somebody's
good
backside.
football? Is it important?
It's a good game of football I'm looking for because I support Coventry City. I support my club side,
Yeah.
win or lose, however badly. But when
Yeah.
I'm watching a tournament in the middle of the summer, when it's a nice day, hopefully, and I could be out watching some cricket or doing something like that,
Yeah.
I want to watch football for the sake of watching the game, which is the game I love, and seeing
Yeah.
it being played by the best possible players in the best circumstances. And so just to see my country.
He's been terminated.
WD-40 on his wheelchair.
See what it is.
No, it's not.
Hello, Jonathan.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll need to turn off one of the two items.
I am turning it off for you.
Thank you, Irene.
Monica, yeah.
Monica, that's
Monica.
I'm fine.
Yeah,
I'm trying to
Sell it,
cancel
yeah.
it.
No, she's.
I think the England cricket team want to watch the match tonight. They're 51 for 3.
Oh, England are?
No, Sri Lanka.
Oh, that's all right.
Yeah.
yeah, 51.
Thank you.
How long is it since England beat a major country in a knockout match?
A major country.
Yeah.
About
Well,
30
how did
years.
he define a major country?
Yeah, it is a bit subjective. Because I
20
think it's not
years.
since 66.
Argentina, maybe. West and Germany, obviously. Yeah.
Argentina.
That was a group game, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Ah, I see.
Well,
what you-
In a
it was
knockout game,
quarter-final, was it?
they beat Spain in the Euro '96.
Oh, yeah,
At that
they did,
time,
yeah.
I'm not sure you would class Spain as being a top footballing nation.
Not at
Subsequently,
that time, no.
they became it, yeah.
What
I
about
reckon they haven't beat one
France?
since '66,
I think you're right.
Group game.
which is a bit worrying.
Yeah.
But would you call Germany a top side?
Yeah,
just
or they're a
at the
major
moment?
country now.
I
I'm
remember.
sure I would.
Yeah.
I remember Liverpool.
They are tonight.
Yeah.
Peter, Peter, I remember Liverpool beating Germany 5-1. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
I mean, I hope
Yeah,
that
gotta-
England
yeah.
play well, but I think they need to win to
Yeah.
build even more confidence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To score goals.
Yeah.
If they don't win, there'll be a big.
Yeah, that'd be
Oh,
useful if you
Gareth
could score a
Southgate
couple of
against that.
goals.
Yeah, there will be.
I
Paul.
passed a load of school kids the other day, and they had a football and they were juggling it, and I said, "Hey, the juggling's all very well, but it's goal scoring we need. Practice shooting, for God's sake."
And they said, "Shut up,
We
Dad."
can't hit the bloody net, can we? It's true. A couple of times I've gone to see my grandchildren at football training, my grandsons, and that's all they do. Fancy little tricks, little dinks, and that. And like Peter said, there was no shooting, just fancy little tricks and keepy uppies.
Yeah, but I like to see footballers doing fancy little tricks and shoot, like Colin Dobson.
Yeah. But
That's a long time ago.
Teaching
but they
his,
need to.
teaching my son to play golf. His granddad said, "You drive for show, but you putt for dough." I
Do you
thought,
think
They
Harry
need
Kane
to-
should start tonight? Or do you think keep him back for his
Sorry,
second
Lon?
half?
He'll
Do you
definitely.
think Harry Kane should start?
He'll definitely
Yeah, he will.
start.
Yeah.
But in,
He's no options, has he? He hasn't left himself any options.
well, it's got one big option. They can start passing the ball forward. That might help
Yeah,
Harry Kane.
you're right.
Yeah,
You're right, Brian.
amen to that.
Yeah.
The first thing they do is look sideways or backwards, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mm.
After last night's matches, England have got to play well at least. Otherwise,
Yeah.
it'll be an outcry.
They've got 8 Ray Wilkins in the team.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, the player we love to hate, Jack Grealish, could have an impact tonight for all we
He
know.
could. I can't stand him, but I do respect him as his football ability.
Yeah.
We need him to play and play well.
I
Yeah.
hope,
But
I
not to
hope
try.
Saka's on the bench to come on later as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
We-
Grealish's
we ought-
penalties might help.
Well, you're
We ought
right.
to have a,
Yeah.
we ought to have a sweep as to when Grealish will first land on the deck. after
You're right.
the tackle.
A minute after going off pitch.
Just,
I was a bit more generous. I was going to say 3 minutes.
We used to have a sweep about what minutes Sam Hutchinson would get booked, didn't we, Dave? Yeah.
yeah, either book or sent off.
Booked or sent off.
I think Foden could have an impact as
I
well.
hope
Yeah.
so. He's a really
Yeah.
good player.
Yeah.
I hope the occasion doesn't get to them. That's the trouble. These young guns. The occasion could affect the game.
I
No.
think Southgate will prepare them well for that.
They're used to playing in big games, though, aren't they?
Yeah.
Most of them.
Yeah.
But how come occasion affects our young guns, but it don't affect other young guns from other nations?
Quite right,
Oh.
John. Quite right. There's nothing to
Saka was fantastic the other night.
It was. It was.
It's affected that Spanish goalkeeper last night, isn't it?
Less than a minute, Keith. Less than a minute.
What was he doing?
He wasn't looking at the
Guy
ball.
off the ball.
It was
Yeah.
looking
Keith,
like
less
it,
than a
wasn't
minute.
it?
He was
Yeah, we're
thinking.
less than a minute, chaps.
He was thinking ahead.
Right.
We'll
Think
see you
England
next
will
week.
win.
England.
Paul vote.
England.
England.
To win.
Yes.
England to win.
England to
England's
win.
to
2-1.
win, yeah.
Extra
2-1.
time.
2-1.
All right.
On
2-1.
penalties.
2-1.
Penalty.
Germany, I'm afraid.
Oh.
Oh, like them.